This is Trevor Brandon, and this is the Tiger Perspective. I'm here to discuss the state of the students with Damien Jones. He is a senator at large for Buildings and Grounds at Texas Southern University. How are you, Damien?
I'm well, Trevor.
Good. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start by asking you, what do you think is the biggest need right now for the student body?
I would say the biggest need for the student body is, well, when we look at the plethora of issues up on any collegiate campus, especially when you talk about HBCU, when we have minority students going through day-to-day issues, financial needs, academic needs, housing needs. But I think the larger issue amongst the campus is the lack of accessibility and communication between one student leader and the students they represent.
Yes.
And I say that because as student leaders, we gain a lot of access.
Yes.
We communicate well with top-level administrators. We can go out externally and communicate with other entities, other schools, and gain a lot of knowledge. The problem lies therein when we don't come back and give that knowledge and that we gain on the outside or on the inside higher up and give it back to the students at the lowest level. Because students are begging for scholarship opportunities.
Yes.
How can I get that scholarship? How can I defray my tuition costs? But if they don't know the requirements, if they don't know a certain scholarship existed, but we didn't, we're just holding it for ourselves, or we just didn't get the information out there, we're failing the students. So that access that we gain, we have to go back and communicate it right back to our constituents.
That's really good. You mentioned access to the students and communication. What have you done already to ensure that communication is the first thing that the students are getting?
Well, I'll just think, if I can give you a personal story, just the other day, about 2 or 3 days ago, I had a student reach out to me on Facebook, as many do, and she said that we actually had a class together, and she and I sat down and had a lot of conversations. She's a good student, just trying to get a quality education, maybe a 2.9, 3.1 type student, you know, the average student, but she has issues, and so she said that she was having a housing issue. She had incurred a housing bill well over $5,000, and I was taken aback as well, and she says, "Is there anything you can do for me? How can you help me?" Well, I know personally I don't have $6,000 to give her, but I do have access, and I've communicated with top-level administrators that can help her. And so I said, I'll do my best. So I said, meet me. I made a phone call, got on the phone with Dean Dean Saunders, and they said, get that student up here tomorrow at 10 o'clock. And we sat down with the student and with the Dean of Students, Dean Thomas, Dean Saunders, and they were able to maneuver and navigate and find a plausible solution to her issues. They were able to call around and get some funding for her because she had incurred at no fault of her own, mistakes here, or maybe paperwork not filled out here. And this student was so afraid because she said that I won't be able to go to school in the fall. And she served in Iraq, and she just wanted to come and get a quality education. And so because of the access that I had gained, and because of the communication skills that I have and used to my advantage, I was able to get a solution for that student. Secondly, when you talk about access, I was able to sit on professional evaluations committee along with other professors, faculty, senate members, and we sat there, and you know, at the end of the year you have the evaluations, and they give it to you in the last 10 minutes of class, and you know, turn it in, you leave. Most of us do what? We pencil whip it real quickly just to get out of class. And so that system is how professors are evaluated, and the way we evaluate those professors plays a big part in the type of education that we get. And so we sat down and said there has to be a change to the system. Number one, we have to make it online, have to throw away the paper, and we have to put it in a way where it has more integrity, whereas you're affecting the lives and families of these professors. If we're not evaluating them on a high level, we're doing them a disservice, and we're also doing the students a disservice. So I was able to sit on that committee and gain access and communicate and let the members of that committee know our concerns as students from an evaluation perspective, and we were able to make change the format in a way that's more effective and better for the students.
Wow, that's really big.
Absolutely.
So from my knowledge, you are the former senator of the freshman class.
Absolutely.
Student Government Association.
Absolutely.
How long have you served the students, and what do you think you've accomplished so far?
I was blessed to be elected in the fall in October, and so on November 1st, I became the freshman senator, and so we're talking about 2 semesters, if you will, and so we also ran in the fall and the spring semester as senator of Buildings and Grounds, and I was blessed to be elected again by the students, and so I'm so grateful for that. And so one full academic year is what I've served, and what have I accomplished in that time frame was your question.
Yes.
I hate to talk about my accomplishments, to be honest with you, because it's all about the students, not myself.
True,
but
very true.
But when asked the question, I was able to, as I mentioned before, professor evaluations were changed. We saw a great need on the library, which is a big issue on our campus, dilapidated in so many different ways when it comes to the structure of the building and the structure of the books. And so I was appointed library committee chairman. We were able to push through some vital legislation that says that students can use books for a 2-hour window and they don't have to buy them, so that helps them in the classroom, also helps their pockets. I was also able to go down and talk to Mr. Davis and personally secure new trams for the fall so the students can get up and down the Tiger Walk in a swift manner. I've also personally had my hands on making sure we had quality and efficient and comprehensive security at key checkpoints around the campus to make sure the students are always safe from surrounding area around the campus. So,
kind of like the emergency boxes that they have where you can press and it'll connect to the police department, what have you. Very good.
Those are just a few things that I was able to do in my team.
Let's take a quick turn. What do you think is the biggest downfall right now that's hurting not just to say the students, but just the university as a whole at Texas Southern University?
Well, it's a partnership. I will say it's a partnership. Students have responsibility, professors have responsibility, administration has responsibility. So again, I think a key word that I've mentioned many times throughout this short interview is quality. And so I would think the downfall is the quality of professor that we have teaching in the classroom, shaping these young minds that we want to go out and be globe changers. And also, but on the other hand, the quality of student that we allow into the university.
Very true.
And so if I could touch on the student first, we have to raise our standard as a university. I think we've just decided to close the enrollment before it was open, and I think 2.0 was the standard to get into the university. I don't know about you, but 2.0 ain't gonna cut it. We have to raise that standard to set the precedent that we expect more, and we expect a better echelon of student matriculating through our halls. We have students that come and they just going through the motions. Maybe some of them don't know how to be quality students. Maybe some haven't been taught. Maybe some just take their money and run and so forth. But we have to raise that standard to make sure we have quality pupils coming through the hallways. And then when we get quality pupils, we have to have quality professors shaping these young minds. So we need to, again, amend the evaluation process. We need to have monthly, maybe yearly trainings with the professor, because it's one thing to know the knowledge and know the discipline in what you're teaching, but if you don't know how to deliver it in a fascinating and engaging way, you're not reaching the students
at all.
You're not being effective. At all. You're not doing your job. So we have to make sure that we're getting professors that know how to reach the students in engaging, exciting, progressive ways, not the old style standing and lecturing, sounding like Charlie Brown's mother, if you will. But we have to be able to find new ways to reach the students. So we have to have high quality of student and high quality of professor.
That's really good. Mr. Jones, you said you're part of the Senate now, a little over a year. Where can students come to listen to the Senate meetings, hear legislation be passed?
Well, we always meet every Wednesday in the Sterling Student Life Center, room 207. It's the board room. We start at 3 o'clock promptly, or at least we try to. And students can come with any problem, any issue, any concern, or any bit of encouragement.
Yes.
Any great things they've seen, you know, and just let us know and give us a word. But we just need you to communicate with us in every way you can. So every Wednesday, room 207. That's where they can come, share their concerns with us.
How might constituents contact you, for instance, Senator Jones? I need some help.
It's a great question. I'm all over the social media stratosphere.
Good.
You can reach me at what is that thing?
Twitter, maybe. Facebook.
Damien Thaddeus, Damien Thaddeus. Twitter is excuse me, Senator Jones, TSU. I'm always retweeting and talking with students. A lot of the way Cory Booker engages with his constituents.
Yes.
And also you can reach me via email, Senator Damien Jones at Yahoo. Okay, or maybe the telephone, text message, phone call if it be an emergency.
Yes.
832-703-9783.
Thank you. I'm Trevor Brandon Damien Jones, Senator at Large for Buildings and Grounds. This is the State of the Students type perspective. Peace.